I just thought I'd pop on and just let you know about a book that I'm really excited to get to. Season of the Witch, the Book of Goth by Cath Unsworth. This is Susie on the cover of Susie and the Banshees. My hair used to look like that back in the 80s. What they say, isn't it? You can take the girl out the goth, but you can't take the goth out of the girl. And I am still a goth and will be until I die. I just have pink hair now instead of black and spiky, mainly because the grey got too difficult to chase. Do you know what I mean? My natural colour's blonde. Well, it's grey now, but it was white. It's actually white under here, but it used to be blonde before I started dyeing it when I was about 13. I haven't been that colour since, I don't think. But anyway, so this looked really good. And so I'm going to give you a little read of what it says. Are you ready? 1979. Do you remember it? I was 10 in 1979. Months of industrial action throughout the winter have left the dead unburied and mountains of rubbish piling up in the streets. I remember it well. After 10 brutal homicides and the biggest police hunt in history, the Yorkshire Ripper is still at large and preparing to strike again. You know, it's an interesting aside. I went on a Reclaim the Night march, which is when all the women in the UK rebelled against the fact that they were like, you've got to be careful, don't go out. And it's like, well, why are we being careful? Tell the men to stay in. Do you know what I mean? It was called Reclaim the Night. But also, I had a very good friend at the time called Elizabeth. And they had, around this time, received that recording from somebody who said it was the Yorkshire Ripper. I don't know if you remember this. You might all be a lot younger than me, but you could go down to the phone box, a free phone, and ring up and hear the voice. And me and Liz did it one night after school. I remember that really clearly, isn't it weird? And then I lost her walking back home because nobody ever drove or got buses in those days. We walked miles. I lost her and she actually disappeared overnight. Big palaver, but anyway, she was found in the end. She'd had a fall. She was fine. Anyway, I digress. Punk has reached his bleak climax with a fatal heroin overdose of Sid Vicious, poor old Sid, while awaiting trial for the murder of his girlfriend. Unlikely alliances of outsiders prepare to seize power, set the political agenda and write the soundtrack for the years to come. Their figureheads are two very different kind of dominatresses. As Margaret Thatcher enters 10 Downing Street, a handful of groundbreaking bands born of punk, including Susie and the Banshees, Joy Division and The Cure, love them all, find a way to distill the dissonance and darkness of the shifting decade into a new form of music. Pushing at the taboos the Sex Pistols had unlocked and dancing with fetishistic, great word, they will soon become global stars of goth. This is a comprehensive overview of its music, context and lasting legacy. This is the story of how goth was shaped by the politics of the era, from the miners' strikes and privatisation to the Troubles and AIDS, as well as how its rock and roll outlaw imagery and innovative atmospheric music cross-pollinated throughout Britain and internationally, speaking to a generation of alienated youth. A fascinating social history tells the tale of an enduring counterculture, one that steadfastly refuses to give up the ghost. Doesn't that sound good? I'm really looking forward to it. This is going to be a flashback to my past, because I had a bit of an epiphany the other day. It's not book related, but I was listening to a song and they told me the date, 1983, and I realised that was 40 years ago. In 1983, I was 14. Now, when I was 14, it was 40 years ago till the war. And the war seemed like a lifetime away when I was a teenager. So now, as an 80s kid, I'm as far away from then as I was then away from wartime. Makes you realise, doesn't it? I've got less to go than I've done now. Time, man. It moves quick. Anyway, I hope you're all having a beautiful bookish day and reading fabulous things. And I'll be back again soon. No doubt. Take care, my friends.